That's the buffet life, baby.
Turn it up a bit. Turn it down.
Carmelo Anthony was just found guilty of murdering Austin Metcalf and was sentenced to 35 years in prison. But already, people are seemingly calling for race riots. As
who would have guessed, folks? The same old story.
CNN immediately frames a verdict as racist.
Carmelo Anthony said, well, push me. See what happens then. And he pushed him, and that is when Carmelo Anthony rummaged through his bag, took out a knife, and the jury has determined that when that knife went into the chest of the victim, Austin Metcalf, that was murder.
If it was
That's right. When you kill someone, you get in trouble.
up to CNN, you'd think an inanimate object just magically ended Austin's life as they desperately
Well, who knows? Maybe. You never know.
try to frame this as anything other than murder.
He had a knife. We don't know why he had a knife. He did not
I know why he had a knife, but I'll leave that up to the audience to decide.
take the stand. This was a self-defense case. And what was in Carmelo Anthony's head was so important because if he subjectively believed that he was going to be killed or seriously bodily injured by Austin Metcalf, who is the victim now, then he had a right to take out a knife.
Saying Austin, who is
And I have a right to take out a gun when I feel threatened.
the victim now, is insanely evil phrasing. He's the only victim, he's the only one
I think it is stupid that they're making this guy a victim. Carmelo. Sounds like a candy.
not with us now because of what Carmelo Anthony admittedly did. It's the simplest of cases, unless your network is full of racists.
Then he had a right to take out a knife.
A black man who has now been charged with murder of a young white man.
That's right.
Anthony was in this tent. He was asked to leave. He was being confronted and in some ways intimidated, provoked by larger athletes, and he was fearful of his life, and he pulled out that knife.
If he was so fearful,
You still shouldn't kill somebody even if you're scared.
why didn't he simply leave the tent as requested? But no, they're just desperate to frame the murderer as the bigger victim. The only thing worse than CNN was Court TV.
America's gonna be a fun week this week. I tell you what, Will Caldwell. Will Caldwell.
And questioning the jury, I asked him, how did you reach your verdict? How did you reach it so quickly? What happened? It was a 4-inch knife. He used it one time. He was pushed. I'm not saying that it was right, but what are you doing? How did you get this verdict? I'm enraged right now. This is very upsetting.
Even stooping to defenses previously only seen in racist memes.
This is why you gotta be careful what news you watch, folks. Gotta be careful. Go ahead, they're okay.
My child has deep regret. My family has deep
Dude, my voice sounds like ass tonight.
regret.
Even though that has nothing to do with this, but I thought I'd throw that out there.
He is a scholar. He has the opportunity to turn his life around. She needed to be talking about her son in the future to get them to see who he could be outside of this, and she was not prepped and ready for that.
Suggesting you can imprison my son, he's a future scholar, just proves you're willing to overlook
how he did the
murder
canon
based
prison
solely on
thing. I
race.
get it.
We simply can't reason with this level of weapons-grade stupidity, but sadly, there's actually activists listening to
Oh,
this
man, I'm
logic.
not even
After
watching
the
this
guilty
full
verdict,
theater mode.
chanting,
Wow,
say
fucking
his
up.
name as if Carmelo was the victim.
Uh-oh. We're bringing back an oldie. Kodo. Say his name.
Carmelo! Carmelo! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now!
Singing and
Carmelo Ice Cream.
jumping around, attempting to antagonize
I'm not going to say what that looks like because I might get in trouble.
the other side.
we see that. But you're not gonna do with a man. That's weak. That's weak. Kid.
Now luckily, this guy was eventually arrested, but he wasn't the only one getting confrontational.
Anytime a white man or a white child can go and put their hands aggressively on anybody and something like this occur, it's self-defense.
I mean, even if he punched him, I don't know who the white dude is, but even if the white dude punched this Carmelo fellow, that gives you no reason to stab him.
You put your hand on me and see how I respond.
You're probably going to stab somebody and then end up in jail.
In what world would anybody think I was for putting violent murderers in prison until his angry supporters got in my face, basically suggesting something similar to me? If anything, it just proves how unfixable this perpetual victim mentality really is. As I already know, even covering this story as moderately as possible, I'm definitely going to receive threats in my DMs by idiots that think,
man, I would kill to have those in my comments. Come on, folks, make this YouTube popular. Let's get it going.
they're anonymous, as some people are just seemingly evil.
What do you want us to do? What do you...
Come on, folks, I love to cause drama. That's why I'm here, and I'm here to anger you. Let's get me some threats in the comments, folks.
You want us to do at this point? What? I'm lost for it. I don't know what to do. I got 5 boys. I don't know what. I ain't got
How many dads you have?
nothing to tell them no more. You can't walk away no more.
Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin.
Now, obviously, the
That I just threw it out there.
answer is just tell your kids not to commit murder. But in the sea of reasonable responses to this is, how does she have 5 kids but isn't working on a Tuesday afternoon? As for several days, she's been out there proudly broadcasting her racism.
If evidence does come out that Carmelo was not in fact fighting for his life when he stabbed and killed Austin Metcalf, do you think that the black community will accept that?
Of course they will.
If evidence shows that he did not, no, we're gonna stand by ours regardless. They stand by theirs.
Oh, I was right.
Once again proving you can't reason with this. Why waste your energy explaining that murder is evil when essentially her whole argument is bigotry? The problem being, the BLM riots proved she's not alone in this.
I see more racism now than I did in the early 2000s, and people are like, oh, who's racist then?
Who do we protect? Black criminals! Who do we protect? Black criminals!
Most people aren't even aware that this entire movement openly endorses black criminals, believing they're basically incapable of not committing murder. It's insanely racist to think this, but they somehow not only believe it, but crowdfund over $600,000 to a guy found guilty of murder, openly admitting they won't spend it.
Like I said, even if he was punched, he still don't stab someone
on his defense, but other stuff for the family, because being on trial for their murder.
People are so stupid with the law these days. At least it's not the 1800s. If they would have found this guy back then, they just would have shot him. No court case, no nothing. At least he gets a chance.
Murder you committed is in.
Well, excuse me. His chance was given to him. And now he's going to jail. It's better than dead. Think about it.
Justice. It's actually scary to think a family can make over $500,000 because some people see a black student stabbing a white student and immediately rush to send him money. As simply put,
and that's students too, dude. I forgot about that. That's crazy.
One side wants to see justice, while the other is just openly racist, complaining about the racial makeup of the jury.
Holy fuck. The only thing I'm worried about is, that you gotta eat to have that.
This is a racist country. We're in a racist state. This is a racist culture.
The only thing I think is racist is, That might be a little bit racist.
There ain't nothing else to talk about. When has a white boy been before an all-black jury? Tell us, media.
You see how she's leaning forward a little bit too?
Tell us, white folks. When has a white boy been before an all-black jury? Never.
How's it murder? Is he asked? Is he okay?
But the Black Panthers weren't the only ones angry over this.
The Black Panthers, that's who that was. Welcome back to the server.
Black boy was allowed not one black soul on a jury. An all white jury.
As yes, that does seem like a concern we should at least consider, until you read exactly why there were no black jurors. As many of the dismissed potential jurors stated they couldn't imagine putting a brother in jail, saying they can't make a decision about somebody so young, one mistake doesn't make you a bad person, and I don't feel comfortable finding an African American male guilty of murder, as none of those jurors are able to give an unbiased judgment on the case, and reasonably should immediately be dismissed from the jury. But instead of blaming those individual jurors for their bias, they again blame racism. As plainly put, placing racists on the jury is their version of justice. As when a guy holds a sign showing Irina Zarutska, someone couldn't help but punch him.
That's right, folks.
I'm just holding a sign.
Violence off the reg.
There was absolutely no reason for that, other than to advertise you have zero self-control, and nobody will be surprised when you too are tried for a violent crime. But then insanely admitting they wish Carmelo killed Austin's twin brother as well.
Both should have been dead. The both brothers. Both should have been dead. You ask me?
It's sad to see society slip this far, where we'd like to hear what the other side has to say, but literally nothing can be gained listening to anybody who not only wants to free someone guilty of murder based solely
That's the future we're heading to.
on race, but wishes they murdered more innocent kids based solely on race. So if you appreciate my concise, sometimes lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription and you'll subscribe to Decoy.
I already am. Look, I just didn't join because it broke. Anyhow, let's have a look at our second video. That is very, you'll see why these are similar. Oh, but look, now we have to switch to the hive mind man himself. Let's have a look. No, wrong button. Jesus. There we go.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And of course, here's the meme of the day brought to you by 5mind.com. Now, I gotta tell you, this is freaking wild, and not just the content of the story, which is absolutely batshit freaking wild. I'm sure you guys have seen it. If you haven't, there was a horrific knife attack in Belfast, Ireland, where a Sudanese migrant on a 5-year visa attempted to behead a young Irish man in the middle of a street, literally had him pinned down, probably too high.
Okay, I want to make sure this is
too much for the people to handle. The monster known as totally uncontrolled, unfettered mass migration appears to be rearing its ugly head. We are reaching a boiling point in the West, which left-wing politicians want to continue ignoring, continue shoving under the rug. But folks, the pressure is simply too high. The lid is about to be blown off 500 frickin' feet in the air, and it's really no surprise why. Let me show you guys what happened, what is happening, and most importantly, let's discuss the overarching themes. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, the headline kind of speaks for itself. Sudanese migrant arrested after attempted beheading in Belfast.
What? Crazy.
Belfast. Graphic video shows him sawing at the victim's neck and head with a kitchen knife, gouging his eye.
A fucking kitchen knife, bro. See, like, at least the early stabbing was not that bad. This, on the other hand, something needs done about this.
Eyes and slashing over and over again as the man is
And I mean done about this.
Attempting to break free, eventually bystanders stepped in and tackled the animal off of him, saving the man's life.
That's right, that's what he is, an animal.
In other words, another example of cultural enrichment being thrusted on the people of the West. But of course, you're not allowed to notice that, and so in comes the downplay.
I notice that, and I don't care if you care I notice that. Deal with it, bitch.
Efforts. Here's what The Guardian wrote. Politicians try to calm tensions inflamed by social media after
Now let tensions rise. Something needs done about this. I really feel bad for Europe. They need to take it back. And when I say that, you know who you are.
stabbing in Belfast. Yeah, apparently the tensions are being flamed by social media. Not yet again another horrific migrant attack. We also saw this.
Let's look, because I'm retarded. Belfast. Oh, it's on fire. Where's this at? Oh, it's in Ireland.
Absolute clown Keir Starmer addressed the issue by saying this: the horrific attack in Belfast last night is...
You know, one of my favorite things they said about Keir Starmer is, well, I'd say he's a twat, but they called him a wanker. I always thought that was funny that they called him a wanker.
Sickening. I have absolutely no tolerance for abhorrent scenes of violence like this on our streets. My thoughts...
Because he is a wanker.
Are first and foremost with the victim, and I thank the first responders, including members of the public.
I hope he gets cucked. Keir Starmer, if you ever watch my videos, I hope you're getting cucked right now by your wife. If you have one. Maybe you're a secret, you know. I'm not going to say it, but you'll figure it out.
Who intervened. You know, another pathetic, vapid, like...
Granted, I probably don't get that much views, but hey... One can wish.
Totally freaking empty political statement from this absolute left-wing coward, obviously ignoring the elephant in the room and such a despicable freaking hypocritical statement. He claims, I have absolutely no tolerance for abhorrent scenes of violence like this on our streets, yet he is the one supporting the policies that is importing the people who are committing these horrible acts of violence. And that's the most
I can't wait till he's gone.
Important thing here, because
and I don't even live in the UK.
Scenes like this did not exist in Belfast. They did not exist in the United Kingdom, in Europe as a whole. Certainly not to the degree that they do today, before Europe handed the keys to the kingdom and opened the border to the world's masses. And that, of course, is the inconvenient truth that they are trying so desperately to shove under.
I remember when immigration was a good thing in history. Boy, are things turning around.
The rug to pretend isn't happening, or that you're the problem for noticing or speaking out against it. Let's also add some more important context that in the United Kingdom, you could literally get arrested for making social media posts against the government's immigration policies.
Locking Lee up for Facebook posts. Show me a post what he's put, what's racist.
Well, there is some proof apparently.
All right.
They're going to arrest you for a Facebook post.
Are you satisfied spoiling people's holidays?
Well, are you satisfied?
All for a Facebook post.
Because I put air concerns out on the
These police in fucking Ireland seem like cucks.
paper. They've arrested me again. Twice in 7 months to keep my door in.
People being arrested for simply noticing a basic reality of their country, having an issue.
Oh, if you don't arrest these people, we're going to fire your ass. Okay, boss, don't fire me. And then they arrest people for Facebook posts.
With it, the people
retarded.
Being gaslit into believing that they're the problem, them simply noticing the current state of reality and the change in their country that is happening. Yeah, that's the issue, not the fact that their women are being abused on the streets at 10x the level compared to 20 years ago, not the horrific knife crime, the car theft, the cell phone theft, the smash and grab robberies, the risk of terrorist attacks, the gangs that are springing up. You know, you can only shove it under a rug, you can only pretend it isn't happening, you can only censor the people, gaslight the people for so long until enough
in this comment section, if you do say something, I know I'm fat. I get it.
is enough and you reach a breaking point.
Don't care.
And friends, I really do believe that we are reaching that breaking point, and rightfully so. I said it felt like we were headed there just after the Henry Novak trial, but now add this on top of it. I mean, what a frickin' catalyst this will be, especially as we're already seeing the sentiment shifting so dramatically.
Right.
Nationalistic right-wing parties are already
People
rising
are gonna
across
be
the
mad
EU
about
and
this.
especially in
Let's
the
double
United
check
Kingdom.
that. People are mad about this? Oh. Man, that was 21 hours ago. Oh, look, water cannon fired at crowds 31 minutes ago. Isn't it sad to see their own government attacking them for being right?
And now we are reaching a breaking point.
Looks like a bunch of Irish people to me.
England for the English! England for the English!
Oh, well, that looks like British guys.
England for the English! England for the Europeans! You bring out all this bullshit, we're here sitting here peacefully.
Oh, look, bruv. I got to do my job so my wife doesn't beat me when I go home because she knows the parts of the relationship.
Taking a knee, and you won't take a knee for any of us. Why? You sit here. Do you not feel like a traitor to your own country? You must do.
Look how dead that man is in his eyes. How do I go back a couple seconds without fucking it up? Look how dead. I hate me, Joe, but it's the only thing I'm living for.
Do you not feel like a traitor to your own country? You must do. Take a knee! Take a knee! Take a knee! Oh, it's all different when a white man gets killed, isn't
it? As I said, how times have changed. We never had these race problems back in the day. Think about it, folks. Never. And it's sad.
I want an end to the brutality that we're seeing in our streets in the UK. Full
I do too, but I'm sure mine is the opposite opinion.
stop. I just see constant reports of another incident, like what I saw this morning, even late last night, of what happened in Belfast was just, I thought enough is enough. I want...
Oh, never mind. She's based. See, America? Learn from her.
I want change in Britain. And the change I want is this. I want Britain made safe again. And I want Britain made great again. And people are sick of being labelled far right. People are sick of being labelled as racists just because they want a safe nation again.
If people are calling her racist, you're retarded. And see, right there, folks, was a lesson in judging a book.
And of course, the headlines will label these people as racists or far-right extremists, but
they said retarded.
They're not. They're normal Europeans who are furious after years of this.
I just want that country back.
Nightmare. They've watched their streets turn into no-go zones. They've seen the stabbings in freaking schools and parks. They've seen the grooming gangs, and probably most insultingly, the cover-up of the grooming gangs. They saw Henry...
And that's what's going to happen if you let Sikhs take knives to schools.
Novak's blood on the pavement as those idiotic police officers put him in handcuffs. And now this? No, this is real outrage, folks. Not the manufactured kind that we saw after the George Floyd situation.
That's right, America. Learn. This is what it real looks like.
Which, of course, the entire journalistic
ours are just jokes.
World justified and got behind despite being overwhelmingly violent. That was a righteous protest, they said, and this is not. They got it backwards, folks. This is 2 decades of pent-up frustration against policies that have not prioritized the interest of Native people in the Western world. This is organic outrage, and you know that because the promotion of false narratives isn't necessary to whip people up into this frenzy. George Soros bucks and fundraising dollars weren't required to kick these protests off. This is real, justifiable outrage rage. And you know what? It's gotten to a point where the issue is so bad, it's become so impossible to ignore that no matter what these left-wing hacks say, they are not putting this genie back in the bottle. They can scream Islamophobia, far-right violence, social media, misinformation. They could blame Elon Musk's social media posts all they want. It will change.
There's the problem right there. Put social media. See, if we didn't have social media like this, folks, this would never exist.
Nothing. Too many bodies have piled up. Too many people.
I think there's such a thing as too much knowledge.
Have died. There have been too many horrific cases of murder and abuse. Millions of people have been woken up, and once you see it, it's impossible to unsee it. No amount of propaganda will quell this. It is time for a complete moratorium on third world migration. We have reached the breaking point. Anyways, that's what I got. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, see you later, liberal headlines. I am not watching Donut Operator. Well, folks, there you have it. Somewhat similar stories. We must do something about it. 2 different stabbings for 2 different reasons in 2 different countries. But with 2 the same outcomes, most likely. Hopefully. But that's it, folks. I'll see you in the next one, and like and subscribe. I'm looking at my screen, isn't it?